did something a little bit differently with our octave mandolin. Instead of looking at the obvious archtop guitar makers like Gibson and D'Angelico, Guild, we decided to look at the best flat top guitar makers that made some archtop guitars in the 30s, that being Martin.
I'm here at Northfield Mandolins with their brand new octave mandolin. Wow, look at this thing. Very cool. Archtop F-hole. I feel like you barely have to fret it, and it makes a beautiful tone. And talk about sustained. Very alive.
This is the beautiful Northfield Octave Mandolin, which again I've never met till today, and it sure does sing a nice song.
It sits on your lap better. You can put it over one knee with a shorter neck, especially like on the scale length that we're using. It's really nice balance. So using this particular style of arching in geometry, what we get is it's a really unique guitar voice, but with the mandolin punch and projection that you want as a mandolin player. So we compensated for the width so that we could get our arm over it, but we also went with a totally different depth than a standard guitar. And we made it, pretty narrow here with a pretty severe taper. Most people that are making archtop guitar versions of an octave mandolin have an arched back and an arched top. What we wanted was kind of that crack, that response that you get from the flat back.
It's a great axe. Everybody needs one.
This one is in mahogany, for mahogany, back and sides and neck, which is not, typically found on octave mandolins. And then we went with maple for one that is much more, like a mandolin, and that spruce top mandolin back and sides and neck. So we have two versions. There was all this renewed interest in the tenor guitar. We were starting to see, posts about people buying tenors and retrofitting them, turning them into mandolins. But a lot of people were just buying tenors and tuning them like mandolins. Martin made some other instruments like the R18. All they had this really interesting kind of arching to them. And when we looked at it, we thought, wow, this will really bring out the high end. What people gravitate to in a guitar sound is really sort of the low end and the low mid, right? But to consider that we're going to make a mandolin out of this thing, but it's going to be tuned a step, a full octave lower. We're going to have lots of low end for a mandolin voice, but what we have to try to do is counteract it with sort of that bright or that intensity on the top end. So this arching seemed to make a great, it was like the perfect compromise. If you're a guitar player and you want to play the mandolin, this is an easier jump for you. One of the biggest advantages to the octave is that you can accompany yourself. I mean, it is a singer-songwriter's tool, but with this mandolin voice. So very unique in that sense.
This thing really rings and sustains, and the sound just carries. It's just wonderful. wonderful to listen to.
It really is a unique voice, and you find yourself writing music on these things. It's been one of our favorite instruments ever to make, just simply because we feel really creative around these instruments. We're not playing tunes the same way.